whenever you're ready.
Good morning and welcome to the 3B Report. I'm Drew.
And I'm Natalie. Today is Tuesday, March 6th, 2012.
Last week's 3B award winners were
Stephanie H. from Mrs. Junga,
Cole K. from Mrs. Cargill,
Lily E. from Mrs. Raft,
Andy F. from Mrs. Cargill,
Zach A. from Mrs. Marshall,
Mrs. Moore's Class PM Kindergarten from Mrs. Shekowitz,
Emily B. from Mrs. Marshall,
Anthony F. from Mrs. Moore and Mrs. Stoddard,
Amelia L. from Mrs. Marshall,
Colin L. from Mrs. Raft,
Gabrielle S. from Mrs. Cargill,
Nick H. from Mrs. DeGrant,
Veronica R. from Mrs. Cargill,
Carmen G. from Mrs. Bever,
Stephen N. from Mrs. Cargill,
Matthew B. from Mrs. Cargill,
Mrs. Blattner's whole class from Mrs. Chekowitz,
Annabelle K. Mrs. Junga,
Kate H. Mrs. Raft,
CJ F. from Mrs. Bever,
Matthew W. from Mrs. Williams and Mrs. McCully,
Elena M. from Mrs. Black,
Remington O. from Teacher A. Moore,
Alexis F. from Mrs. Marshall,
Ricker B. from Mrs. Cargill,
Yusuf from Mrs. Shekowitz,
Adrian K. from Mrs. Junga,
Isabel G. from Mrs. Cargill,
Manasa M. from Mrs. Marshall,
Ashton M. from Mrs. Bever,
Lucas C. from Mrs. Raft,
Allie F. from Mrs. DeGrant,
Madeline S. from Mrs. Marshall,
Noah M. from Mrs. Raft,
Sam J. from Mrs. Miller and Mrs. Williamson,
Ryan S. from Mrs. Raft,
Caitlin B. from Mrs. Junga. And here's the winner of last week's Guess Which Book Contest.
And our winner is
Mrs. Ledford's class.
excellent.
Today's lunch choices are chicken nuggets and mac and cheese.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a resolution of respect.